Jenny, a teenage girl, had been at a party with her boyfriend Jeff. They had had a few drinks and Jenny decided she was okay to drive home. Their vehicle crashed head-on with another, and here's part of a poem by an anonymous author off the noback.org website telling the end of the story. Jenny awoke in the hospital to faces so sad. You've been in a wreck and it looks pretty bad. These voices echoed inside her head as they gently told her that Jeff was dead. They said, "Jenny, we've done all that we can do, but it looks as if we'll lose you too." "But the people in the other car," Jenny cried. "We're sorry, Jenny, they also died." Jenny prayed, "God, forgive me for what I have done. I only wanted to have just one night of fun. Tell these people's families I've made their lives dim, and I wish I could return their families to them. Tell Mom and Dad I'm sorry I lied, and that it's my fault so many have died. Oh, nurse, won't you please tell them that for me?" The nurse just stood there and never agreed, but took Jenny's hand with tears in her eyes, and a few moments later, Jenny died. A man asked the nurse, "Why didn't you do your best to bid that girl her last request?" She looked at the man with eyes so sad because the other people in that car were her mom and dad. This story is so sad, unpleasant but true, so young people take heed, it could have been you. My name is Aleksandravelenchenko, and I myself in high school lost a classmate to a drunk driver. So today I am here to persuade you to not drink and drive, and that there are other options such as staying put or finding a sober driver that are your best options when you have been drinking. People tend to drive drunk because they don't realize how drunk they really are. One of the side effects when drinking alcohol is impaired reasoning. Therefore, when you think that you are in control of a situation, in reality you aren't. Others drive drunk because they simply think that they can get away without getting an impaired driving offense, or because they don't plan ahead when going out with friends. None of these are excuses. When you think about everything that you are putting at stake, when you get behind the wheel, is it worth it for you to drive home so you can sleep in your own bed? No. By getting behind the wheel, you put yourself, your passengers, and others on the road in danger. If the accident doesn't involve death, it could result in a life-changing injury, such as a loss of brain functions or paralysis. Imagine if the girl in the story would have lived. The guilt and regret she would feel every waking minute of her life. The sorrow she would feel, not to mention the legal trouble she would get herself into, and you could bury yourself financially. How would you feel waking up every morning knowing you took a life and having to live with yourself for the rest of your life knowing you did that? What if you lost a close friend, a family member, a neighbor, or a coworker to something that could have been prevented if someone had just made the smart decision and not drove? You would feel angry at that person who had made that poor choice. According to the OHS Health and Safety Services website, in all 50 U.S. states, they have a law stating that it is illegal to drive with a blood alcohol level of .08 or higher. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 33,808 people died in traffic accidents in 2009 in the United States, including an estimated 10,839 people who were killed in drunk driving crashes involving a driver with an illegal BAC. That's about 1 every 50 minutes, and 1 in 3 people who get in an alcohol-related crash within their lifetime. These are all accidents, deaths, and injuries that could have been prevented if you chose to drive drunk. These are all accidents that could have been prevented. If you chose to drive drunk, not only will you feel a burden emotionally, but you will feel the burden financially and get in a lot of legal trouble. As more and more states are passing zero-tolerance laws, when it comes to DUIs, the penalties are becoming more and more severe. Jail time, court costs, attorney fees to fight your case, increased insurance fees, cost of driver education courses, and suspension of licenses are all consequences from driving while intoxicated. Many states have passed habitual violator laws, which provide felony penalties for 3 DUI convictions. These offenders lose many of their civil rights, such as being able to vote or to own a weapon. As if getting your license suspended wasn't bad enough, in some states you can lose your license permanently or for many, many years. Is that a risk you are willing to take? When someone who has been driving drunk offers you a ride home, be courageous, and don't be afraid to say no. Don't care what anybody else thinks of you, and do what you know is the right thing. Drunk driving is a mistake that you can't take back. Save a life. Don't drink and drive. Thank you.